Hello everyone, welcome to another StarCraft 2 game with me, Toha. Today I have for you a TVZ on the map Ascension to Aya LE. Now, spawning in the top left hand side is our red Terran monkey. Spawning in the bottom right hand side is our blue Zerg lewy. I assume that's an L. With the group Mist G. Oh, he cancelled that drone for some reason. Maybe... Anyway, let's go and see what they're doing. Our Terran player wisely going for that wall. Funnily enough, going for a double supply depot before the racks, which is quite a weird move in my opinion. If I were him, I would do the way I do walls is that I would put down the supply depot, followed by the barracks, followed by another supply depot, because then you at this point you have enough money to straight away plop down that barracks just a bit earlier. But this is fine. This is a good wall. Taking a look at what our Zerg player is doing, that drone is just sitting there going to be morphing into a spawning pool right now, which is it's average. He's also going for a hatchery. I'm getting messages on my phone, but who cares? Anyway, let's have a look. He's now waiting for those sweet minerals to come in, having a bit of a dance off before he goes into his morphing phase. He's just about to get it. 300, there he goes. He's probably now going to play. Indeed he does. Taking a look at our Terran player, he's not going for that gas. Oh, he is going for that gas. I'm wrong. He's just getting that gas, which is a bit late. If he wanted to do Reaper Harass, it's a bit late. Normally, if you want to open up with just a standard Terran Reaper opener, which is a good opener to go with because you can also use the Reapers to scout. If we take a look, he hasn't scouted the Zerg just yet. He doesn't know that he has an expansion, and he doesn't know what tech he is going for. Although he probably will do that in due course. Slapping on 2 more barrackses. He's probably going to go for an early army, probably for an early harass, which is quite normal. I mean, he doesn't know that the Zerg player has gone for that expansion, so he doesn't know the state. Did he just cancel that? Why did you cancel that hatchery? I think that must have been a mistake, because he just cancelled his hatchery. I mean, I've heard of the extractor trick. I've never heard of the hatchery trick. I think that's a bit overdoing it a bit. So if we look at the state now, the Terran is now moving out with 3 Marines. Fortunately for him, this Overlord is in the right position to scout that. He is going to see those 3 Marines leaving. So let's take a look at how he responds. He probably should throw down a spine crawler here, or get out more lings. He's not doing either of that. He's just finally starting that metabolic boost. But fortunately for him, he has got enough lings to counter this minor Terran aggression. That Overlord's being chased by that Marine. That Marine really wants to kill that Overlord. It wants to prove itself to its other Marine buddies that it can kill Zerg. He'll go back to his group bragging about the fact that he just made a poor innocent Overlord plunge to its death. Rest in peace, Overlord. Interestingly, the Terran is now retreating back to his base. I don't know. He must have encountered these Zerglings, and indeed he has. He took that Zergling took a few hits, so he probably thought it's not a good idea. But it looks like they've now regathered and they're moving out once again. If we take a look at what our Terran is doing, he's still on gas. He's finally got his gas fully saturated, up and running, and yeah, not going for an expansion just yet. He's probably just going to keep on building that army. Cancelling that tech lab, I assume it was, to plop a reactor to gain more Marines. Interestingly, I think he's just going to go for a straight Marine rush. Definitely this is definitely a Marine push. There's nothing else it can't be. Stim halfway done now. Let's take a look at what our Zerg player is doing. He's finally finishing his metabolic boost, but he hasn't got that much out. I mean, he knows that the Terran is going for some sort of aggressive build. He saw the Marines coming out earlier. He should, in my opinion, stick a spine crawler here. Spine crawler, queen, and Zerglings will be more than enough to hold an attack. And here we go, the Zerglings coming in, going into the Marines. But unfortunately, Marines' damage per second is just too high. Managing to take out all of those Zerglings. The queen now getting into position, bringing down his second queen in order to hold off this push. He should probably pull off the workers just so he has more damage to deal. Now, the stim pack is 20 seconds from completion, but unfortunately, the Zerg player just doesn't have enough. He's now finally getting a roach rolling, but unfortunately, he's not producing enough units. 2 Zerglings come out, will immediately die, and I think that this is it. And there you go. Louis leaves the game. Now, For some reason, the Terran player has decided to stay in the in the match. Definitely wants to kill that hatchery. He really wants that. I don't think he's realised that he's left the game, even though the big thing came across the screen. He is now going to kill that hatchery, even though no player is controlling it. He wants to brag about this to his friends. He's going to go, I killed this hatchery. I definitely killed this hatchery. I didn't leave the game and not kill the hatchery. That hatchery is going to die. But first of all, he's taking his time, clearing off all those drones. I don't know why he's wasting his time. But anyway, whilst he's doing that, sending more Marines down, which is very weird. Whilst he's thinking he's even doing research. Why? The game is over. Why aren't you leaving? Anyway, if I were to do stuff differently, if I was a Zerg player, I would have built spine crawlers at the front of my base in order to help counteract that Marine aggression. Once I saw that the Marines were out for the Terran player, I would have gone ahead, plopped down a few spine crawlers here. That, coupled with a queen and a few more Zerglings, maybe 2 queens, would have held that aggression off well. And there you go, the Terran player has finally decided to leave the game. Anyway, but yeah, the Terran player definitely did a good job. Unfortunately, if we have a look at the Zerg player, he did not scout the Terran at all. He didn't even put an Overlord in there. He didn't come out early enough. If he would have at least flew an Overlord over to here, or here, he would have seen that he was going for those barracks and been able to prepare accordingly. So yes, definitely another big theme is always scout. Scout, scout, scout. So yes, that's another StarCraft 2 game with me, Toha. Thank you very much for watching, and make sure to leave a comment below. Have a good day.